If you want to learn how I turned this hip-hop mix from this to this master, stay tuned. Hello everybody and welcome to RealHomeRecording.com. This is Adam. So, I have not ever tried the Diamond Lift from Acustica Audio / Studio DMI, and I regret it. Because I gotta tell you, this plugin's pretty darn cool. And let me get rid of this track for now because it's not the important one. The one I'm gonna focus on and try not to talk too much about, or I should say prattle on about, is this track. Now, it is by a guy named Juicy featuring Ghostra Nostra. This is an unreleased rap song that I think is quite catchy, and I was asked to try my hands at it, and I'm going to actually end up correcting this because I used too much clipping. But anyway, let me show you briefly the Diamond Lift plugin. So from left to right is how we resize the plugin. We have presets. We have the Acustica Audio logo, which does nothing. We have the input knob. We have a high pass and low pass filters. And then down here is our saturation switch, on and off. When it's off, this knob goes away. I think that's pretty neat. Cleans up the interface when things go off. Up top here, we have our choice of high shelf. I think possibly these are equalizers, different equalizers as well. And those are attached to the high shelf. Down here, the low shelf also has filter types. And as you can see, for this master, I put the high shelf at +4 decibels. The EQ was not being engaged for the low shelf. And then over here, we have the bypass button. When that's lit up, it's bypassed. And then this knob right here, which I think is actually one of the coolest features of this whole plugin, it adds more stereo information, which basically means it makes the mix wider sounding. Whatever it does, it works a treat as the air conditioner turns up. I thought I had that sucker off. I love recording during the summer months, let me tell you. Anyway, back to this. We have up here 4 different modes of compression, and then underneath that is the compressor's threshold. Underneath that, makeup gain. Down here, our gain reduction meter. And then down here is actually our routing. Now, I can't remember each different routing area, but number 1, I believe, is basically left to right, how everything is set up. So saturation first, then EQ, then compression, then clipping. And the routing lets you change all that stuff around, which is great because this is a mastering channel strip. Anyway, to the right of that, up here are our clipping modes. And once again, I believe clip number 5, or maybe all of them. I got to double check on that, but I believe at least clipper number 5 is a hyper one, which means it sounds a little bit more realistic compared to the hardware. And anyway, down here you can disable the clipper with this switch. The controls go away, and if you press it, that does that. Now, right here is whether you want to clip just the mid, and off is the entire signal. Down here is the clipper gain reduction. That's actually what I'm going to be messing with in a few minutes here. But then over here is our output gain. And then to the right of that is our different listening modes. We have left and right, which is the normal mode. We have mid, we have side, and then we have something called delta, which lets us listen to the difference between the original signal and the Diamond Lift signal. Above that, I forgot to mention, is the oversampling. You can go from either 1x all the way up to 16x. I suppose I should have had this on like at least 2, right? because this track is 48 kilohertz. Yep. And let's see, anything else? There's the over. If you're clipping, then this light goes on. And I think that's about it. So, you know, there are a decent amount of controls on this plugin, but really for something that is like a mastering channel strip, I think it's just the right amount of control. Studio DMI did a heck of a job laying this plugin out to make it easy to use, and I like the design of it. I'm a fan of black and white and black and red, so their color scheme works for me. Well, speaking of Studio DMI, another plugin that I never tried of theirs is the Diamond Equalizer, the Diamond Color EQ. And I actually use this with the master because they recommended it in the user manual. And as you can see, this is where all the stuff is set up. So this is an older version. This is, I believe, the last time they updated this was in 2022. I'm not sure which month. But anyway, it's not like old. It's just not hyperized. So over here is the presets. You cannot resize the GUI, unfortunately. And then we also have over here, again, the different listening. So I definitely prefer the layout of LIFT4 compared to this. Then again, it just might be the GUI size. But anyway, I believe this is some kind of Pultex style equalizer or something. I'm not 100% sure. In fact, don't even quote me on that. The bottom line is the equalizer sounded good. I did a low frequency cut at 60 hertz. I left the two mids alone. And then on the high frequency band, I dropped it down to, what is that, 16 kilohertz or 15 kilohertz and boosted a little bit. And that's about it, I believe. Oh, I also backed the input gain down, and yeah, that's about it. I think everything else is off, including the preamp. So this plugin was actually not used when I rendered this original track down, and also Hornet VHS does not work on my computer because it's Windows 7. So this was the final track. I just used two plugins, and then actually switching over, once I heard the way this sounded, I then needed some more enhancement. So I'll come over to this tab, and there's actually a plugin I couldn't show you guys because it is, I thought it was going to be released by now, but it's a new plugin from a company. I'm not even sure if I can mention it, but anyway, I had to replace one of these plugins with an Acustica audio plugin in order to make that work. But here's the rest of the master, and what I'm going to end up doing is taking all these plugins and copying them to the original. May as well get rid of Hornet VHS since I can't use it anyway. And I'll save this before it potentially crashes on me. What I'll actually do is load that other plugin back in, the one that I can't show you guys yet, and then that one will be the real deal. But essentially what you're seeing is accurate to what I used on the real before and after. So as you can see, it's pretty darn clipped, and I think I definitely overdid the clipper, but maybe that's just kind of how I thought the sound should be. Anyway, first of all, Acustica Audio's brand new Fire the Dees, or Dees, Fire the Dees. And that is well, technically a de-esser, but it is a harshness reducer. And so I thought it needed that for some of the vocals. Actually, towards the end of the song, the vocals got a little bit sibilant, and then they're a little bit sibilant as well with the first rapper. So I needed some sibilance reduction because the EQ I used just made it too harsh sounding. So, and that happens sometimes when you're mastering because you only have two channels, two tracks you're working with. You don't if you don't have stems, you can't just mess with the vocals and then mess with whatever, everything is one track, or really two tracks mixed down. But anyway, Cherry was also used. As you guys can see, I boosted with the high shelf. I actually, well, maybe what I'll end up doing is using less on the color EQ, less boost reduction, because you can see that I use this to bring the low end back up because I reduced it too much. And let's see, I boosted in the presence range, and that's about it. Cherry is an awesome sounding equalizer. I am glad it's in my possession now. And then I also used a Baxendale, or I should say, I believe this is an emulation of the Dangerous Music Bax EQ. I boosted 16 kilohertz, about 5 decibels. So yeah, I definitely added a lot of presence and high end to the original track. And then I topped that off with SmartLimt. I really, really like SmartLimt. You can really press this plugin a lot, and it doesn't do too much damage to the dynamics. I always forget to use FGX2 that Slate Digital put out. I really never tried it. But anyway, I also make use of two plugins. One is Tonal Balance Control from iZotope, and the other one is True Balance from Sonible. As you can see, I have the hip hop preset selected and the tonal balance. So the idea is that I can see if my frequency balance is within the industry standards. And yeah, good times. So now that you know how I did it, let me actually try to clean this track up. I don't know if I can just keep this other window open or if it's going to crash on me, but I'm going to stop this recording for right now and see what's up. Okay, so let's load this up and adjust things accordingly. So first of all, I'm going to take away the low frequency boost. And then for that, I will actually then... Wait a minute. What did I change it from? There's no decibel marker on there. Let's see if there's one on here. So I was really only reducing by about a decibel, I think. Yep. Or at least whatever 1 means on here. So I'll just do it by ear. And then on here,
like a human being.
Okay, I may have to just do this and get rid of this window.
Yes. You understand? Like a human being.
Yeah, it's clipping because I'm doing a screen capture. Good times. Okay, well.
Trying to tell you right now, alright? Just sit there, put your feet in the fucking water shit right here.
So all I'm going to do is just slowly reduce this clipper knob until the clipping goes away, and I'm also going to be listening to it.
Trying to tell you right now, alright? Just sit there, put your feet in the fucking water shit right here. Hear what you fucking did, now fucking look at what I'm telling you right now. Next time, stop doing it. So you don't gotta look at this ugly shit I'm about to get. It's real sad that we're quiet for this one. I'm trying to tell you right now, alright? Just sit there, put your feet in the fucking water shit right now. I'm trying to tell you right now, alright?
Okay, so I think I pretty much did what needed to be done. I just need to maybe reduce this as well.
I'm trying to tell you right now, alright? Just sit there, put your feet in the fucking water shit right here. Hear what you fucking take a minute. Gotta look at
you can truly follow what lies within your heart. You will experience it.
fuck I do. You did with it. I told you done it. You know, look at this ugly shit I'm about to get.
Greens in a normal car. You can truly follow.
That ever done it. You niggas think they did it, but they fucking water shit right here. Did what you fucking did. Did what you fucking did. Now sad, gotta bring it quiet. Space, you know what the fuck it is. You know what the fuck. Stop bitching. Alright, fucked with it. I told you leave that shit alone, but you ain't listen. Boy, go read a book or something. Learn a fact or two. You know what the fuck it is. You know what the fuck I do. You did what you did. Now look at it. You is where you is, cause you fucked with it. I told you leave that shit alone, but you ain't listen. I'm the fucking truth, nigga. Stop bitching. R.I.P. to Nipsey. I'm riding in a nice whip, looking for your chick, B. Boy, go read a book or something. Learn a fact or two. You know what the fuck it is. You know what the fuck I do. You did what you did. Now look at it. Boy, go read a book or something. Learn a fact or two. You know what the fuck it is. You know what the fuck I do. You did what you did. Now look at it. You is where you is, cause you fucked with it. I told you leave that shit alone, but you ain't listen. I'm the fucking truth, nigga. Stop bitching. R.I.P. to Nipsey. I'm riding in a nice whip, looking for your chick, B. Boy, go read a book or something. Learn a fact or two. You know what the fuck it is. You know what the fuck I do. You did what you did. Now look at it. You is where you is, cause you fucked with it. I told you leave that shit alone, but you ain't listen. I'm the fucking truth, nigga. Stop bitching. R.I.P. to Nipsey. I'm riding in a nice whip, looking for your chick, B. Boy, go read a book or something. Learn a fact or two. You know what the fuck it is. You know what the fuck I do.
Did what you did, now look.
Did what the fuck you did.
Did what you did, now look.
Now look.
Did what you did, now
Look at you. I don't wanna fucking look at you though.
now look.
Cause you did what you fucking
Did
did.
what you did, now look.
Feel me?
Did what you did,
I
now
don't think you fucking understand the temperature of the shit I'm trying to tell you right now. Alright?
did what you
Just sit
did,
there,
now
put your feet in the fucking water shit right
Did what
here.
you did,
Did
now
what you
look.
fucking did, now fucking look at what I'm telling you right now.
Did what you did, now look.
Next time, stop
Did
doing
what you did, now look.
so you don't gotta look at this ugly shit I'm about to get.
Okay, so I made my settings changes, and that's pretty much where I'm going to end up being. I don't know if I should change this to -1 or... I kind of like going with -1. Go with -1. What I'm going to do is actually run off 2 copies of this, one with the limiter at around 9 decibels, and then I'm going to do another one because the musician actually said they would like to maintain dynamics. So this is basically what SmartLimt said was good, and then what I'll do is have one that's a little bit lower. I should say the change with the plugin that I originally used, so I'll bring that in. And yep, anyway, I forgot to do the most important step, which is show off these plugins individually, one by one, as the song plays, so you guys can hear the before and after as each plugin gets added.
Did what you did, now look. Yeah, you did what you did, now look.
Take a minute.
Did what you did, now look.
You gotta look at it though.
Did what you did, now look.
Did what the fuck you did.
Did what you did, now look.
Now look.
Did what you did, now
Look at you. I don't wanna fucking look at you though.
now look.
Cause you did what you fucking
Did
did.
what you did, now look.
Feel me?
Did what you did,
I
now
don't think you fucking understand the temperature of the shit I'm trying to tell you right now. Alright?
Did what you
Just sit
did,
there,
now
put your feet in the fucking water shit right
Did what
here.
you did,
Did what you
now look.
fucking did, now fucking look at what I'm telling you right now.
Did what you did, now
Next
look.
time, stop
Did
doing
what you did, now look.
so you don't gotta look at this ugly shit I'm about to get.
Did what you did, now look. Yeah, you did what you did, now look.
Take a minute.
Did what you did, now look.
You gotta look at it though.
Did what you did, now look.
Did what the fuck you did.
Did what you did, now look.
Now look.
Did what you did, now
Look at you. I don't wanna fucking look at you though.
now look.
Cause you did what you fucking
Did
did.
what you did,
think you fucking understand the temperature of the shit I'm trying to tell you right now. Alright? This ain't that put your feet in the fucking water shit right here. Did what you fucking did, now fucking look at what I'm telling you right now. Next time, stop doing.
Thank you all for watching. This has been Adam for RealHomeRecording.com. Check out LIFT4 from Studio DMI. Like I said, I wish I would have known about it, or I should say I knew about it. I just didn't try it for myself, and I'm glad I did because it is quite nice. So check it out for yourself. You can try it out for like at least 30 days. And I think that if you do contemporary music, then, or even if you don't, I've heard that people who mix heavy metal music find this to be useful. So check it out. But yeah, definitely if you're into like pop music or rap or whatever these days, EDM, if you're into any of those kind of genres, then Diamond Lift is a nice plugin, like a nice overall plugin